Listen, we've got a very poor squad, a really badly assembled and unbalanced squad. The start of this season, I had so many people telling me about how we were going to challenge for the league. I think it's embarrassing, the amount of pundits that said that. Honestly embarrassing. If you couldn't see the weaknesses in this squad, a hodgepodge of players, all different styles, half of which we don't need, it's embarrassing. But listen, I was thinking as I was sitting here, we don't have this conversation about any other football club. We only have it about Manchester United. And there's a premise which I always say sits underneath Manchester United's board of directors, which is the biggest failing premise, and that is that we have to appoint a long-term manager. And I've been saying for so long, and if Ed's listening, listen to this carefully, Ed. There is no such thing as a long-term manager. There are only short-term managers that keep winning. And Ed, you need to understand that premise, because then it doesn't matter who you bring in next. If the next guy fails, you don't wait 3 years. You move the guy out, right? I don't understand this 𝙚𝙥𝙘 appointment at all. If he's a director of football, make him a director of a football. If he's a manager, make him a manager, right? It makes no sense to me. This guy is either going to be brilliant or he's going to explode the football club. One of the two. And for a club that had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in there before there, wouldn't say boo to a goose, I find it an extraordinary appointment to bring a guy like Ralf Rangnick in. I'm hopeful he's brilliant. Of course I am, and he might be. But it's just another nonsensical decision by a football club that really have no direction at all, who think that they're sitting on some fantastic football squad that are going to be brilliant once they bring the next guy in. And by the way, Gary Neville thinks that as well, and Roy Keane thinks that as well. Actually, I don't know if Roy does, but
no, he doesn't.
Most of them do. I find it utterly extraordinary. There are people there that because they have British passports get away with absolute murder. Right? People like Harry Maguire and Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who I'm sure Danny will tell me is a world-class central defender just going through a bad patch.
No, I won't. I wouldn't say that.
He's a championship-level defender at best. He's statistically the worst guy in the Premier League. I think he's been relegated 4 times. I haven't got time to read you the stats on what he's let in and the chances he's given up. But it's a joke. The two in midfield, it's not their fault. They put 100% in, but it's not their fault that we didn't buy a central midfielder. Right? 9 wide players at the football club. 9 wide players at the football club. Not a striker under the age of 36. Right? Do me a favour. Do me an absolute favour. Luke Shaw, 8 years. 6 good months in 8 years. 1 good European Cup, whatever it's called, Euro Cup. And everyone's saying, oh, he's brilliant. 8 years he's been at the club. I've had 6 months out of him. Do me a favour. Do me a favour. Please. Honestly, it's beyond a joke. The pundits are beyond a joke. The lack of knowledge of the squad that this team has. Our board, of course, and our fans are a joke as well, by the way. Because honestly, I've never seen a bunch of fans accept mediocrity the way that our bunch of fans have learned to accept mediocrity.
Paul, I think you can expect, my friend, that to be clipped up, and you're going to be hearing yourself in talkSPORT throughout the rest of the day. Paul, that was nothing short of outstanding. Talk about brilliant. You've absolutely floored us. We've overrun, but by God, what a way to overrun. Paul, that was unbelievable.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.